Hi, thank you, Anthony. Yeah, let's get started. Welcome to the launch event of the Evmos-Covalent 1 Million Wallets Hackathon. Welcome, everyone. So my name is Emma. I'm going to be your program manager for this hackathon. I'm based in London, and I'm really excited to get to know you all. So feel free to book one-on-one calls with me, and I'm going to be here to help you during the course of this hackathon. If you have any concerns or any inquiries, I'm your person. So a little bit about Encode. We are a Web3 educational community. We help developers learn, build, and find their career paths in Web3. Here is a little article by TechCrunch that was recently written about us. And yeah, it shows all the amazing work that we're doing in supporting and helping new Web3 developers. So what we do is run boot camps, accelerator courses, and hackathons, such as this one. This particular hackathon, the Evmos-Covalent Hack, is organized by Encode in partnership with Evmos and Covalent. It is going to last for 4 weeks. And during this time, there's going to be different workshops and opportunities to learn about Evmos through focused learning and data and building opportunities. So I'm going to hand over now to Anthony to say a few words. He is the CEO at Encode.
Thank you very much, Emma. Well, lovely to meet you all. Thank you very much for coming to this launch event of the Encode Covalent Evmos Hackathon, or Evmos Covalent, I should say, or even Evmos Covalent Encode. We put them in whatever order we want, but as long as you do this Encode Hackathon and use those two protocols, I think I'll be happy with whatever order you put them in. The purpose of an Encode Hackathon is we see it as education. It is competition. You are trying to build things to win prizes, but fundamentally you are learning. You are learning by doing. And that doing is building a fantastic project in Web3. Encode has seen tons of you guys, old, new, to come, in the past, go on to build great things and go on to one of two routes. The majority of you go on to find great Web3 careers, which we love seeing, and Laura loves helping you in that respect. The second side of you go on to actually build companies. We've had over 50 companies out of Encode, the likes of Euler, Reflex Labs, Xerexmons, to name but a few. So whichever path you choose, we don't mind, but we hope you use this next 4-week period, this 4-week period, to invest in your learning, first and foremost. The project is but a representation of the output of that process. And Encode Hackathon is quite special, or at least it has a very specific quality to it. That quality is that we will pretty much give you one-on-one mentorship, and the 4-week structure is designed for you to have enough time to invest in your learning, and you should be able to, within that 4 weeks, we don't expect you to work for the whole length of it, but we do want you to be able to find a week or 2 weeks, a few weekends to be able to invest in your learning, invest looking at these protocols, and invest in building what you want to build. But what we'll do for you is we'll get on as many one-to-one calls as you want to, really. Emma will help you every step of the way. We'll provide whatever support we need to do in order to make sure you build a great project. And the rapport we build with all of you is one of the defining features of an Encode event, and I think why we enjoy these events so much, to be honest. We've got some great partners with you today. Evmos, which we'll hear a little bit more about from them themselves, which is fantastic EVM on Cosmos, and Covalent, long-term partners of Encode, who provide their tooling, their API services, and many other things besides, to a number of our events and boot camps and hackathons before, and it's nice for them to be more at the forefront, so you can really focus on that technology in this event. I'm always here for your help as well. If you ever want to reach out to me, I'm top of the Discord, only by in fact it's I'm the CEO, not for any importance or anything, to be honest. But if you do want to reach out to me, I'm top of that, and I will try to reply. Otherwise, Emma is the person you should speak to, and will be more than happy to help. Without further delay, I'll pass back to Emma.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I am going to pass it on to Leibing from Covalent if you would like to say a few words.
Yes, please. Thank you, Emma. Hi, guys. Thank you all for making it to this, Kickstart presentation. Really excited for this hackathon. I think there's many parties behind the scenes that's worked very hard to put this together. And I see a great question there. What is Covalent? I'll answer that in a bit. But before I go on to that, I'd just like to shout out to the Encode team for all the hard work in putting all the pieces together, helping us a lot along the way, designing the banners that you see, designing the website, and also a great shout out to the Evmos team as well as the Evmos DAO. I believe LPX is in the audience right now, and Nic, the co-founder of Evmos, is also in the audience, who will also be speaking a few words later. Great thanks to them for helping us connect to the sponsors, finding judges, as well as bringing in workshop participants who will be delivering for you guys a great series, I hope. So this hackathon is centered around data, especially Web3 data. And Covalent is an API service provider, right? We see that sometimes Web3 data is very hard to access. It kind of is like in a point query format. And we provide aggregated data. So it's in a traditional REST API, and you can call it via browsers, via your code, etc. And we pride ourselves in being able to get you very conveniently the different kinds of data that you need, be it wallet data, balances, transactions, protocols like swaps, Uniswaps and stuff. Like all those data is available via Covalent, which you can integrate very easily into your client-side builds. So this hackathon is called 1 million wallets, right? You don't need to build wallets. Wallets is, the main primitive in Web3. But from a wallet, you can do a lot of things. Like wallets can also integrate swap features. It can also be NFT galleries. It can also be a portal into your DAO tools, right? So there's many things that you can build from a departure point of a wallet. And it's reflected in the bounty tracks. We have 4 bounty tracks prepared for you guys, and they're all really interesting. You can build DeFi use cases, you can build NFT or GameFi use cases, you can build cross-chain tooling, which is very unique and interesting in the context of Evmos and Cosmos ecosystem. And of course, you can build DAO tooling as well. So you can find all these bounty information in the Hacker's Guide, which I believe Emma will be sharing with you shortly. And last but not least, just to give a bit of background about this hackathon as well. So the Evmos government proposal 54 was approved for us to run this hackathon for the Evmos ecosystem. So this is really an effort by the Evmos community to push for more projects in the ecosystem, and especially like front-end projects that kind of visualize what goes on chain. And with all of you guys' great help, enthusiasm, and participation, we hope that we'll see lots of very interesting builds being built out in this hackathon. And yeah, hope everyone have fun. It's 4 weeks of hacking and learning. And I believe you'll learn a lot about the nuances of the Evmos ecosystem, which is a really, really interesting ecosystem to work on. Thanks, guys. And I'll pass it back to Emma.
Thank you so much, Leibing. We are also so excited to get started. On that note, if Nic is here from Evmos, it would be great to hear a few words from you as well.
Hey, folks. Yeah. I'm here. Evmos, as you know, is one of the first EVM chains in the Cosmos ecosystem. And with that comes, the ability to use all of the tools that you as developers know and love, MetaMask, Foundry, Truffle.js, etc. But in addition to that, being what it is, situated in the Cosmos ecosystem, enables developers to have access to unique functionality as well as assets that generally haven't been available on other EVM chains. So I'm really excited to see what our developers managed to build along the tracks that Leibing mentioned earlier. Super psyched for that, and yeah, available as a resource in case anyone has questions or concerns or needs ideas for what to build. Happy hacking.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. So yeah, let's look at some key dates. Today, we've got the launch for the next 4 weeks from the 7th of November to 4th of December. There's going to be 4 workshops, and there's going to be a period for you to build in all the exciting directions that Leibing mentioned. There's also going to be quizzes and quests and opportunities to win a bunch of different prizes. 4th of December is the submission deadline, and on the 14th of December, we're going to have a finale and a prize giving. So the workshops that we're going to be running, they start tomorrow on the 8th of November with Leibing, who's going to run a workshop on Evmos on-chain data. Then on the 11th of November, there's going to be a Cosmos on-chain data workshop with Numia Data. On the 16th, there's going to be a technical workshop about building on Evmos. And last but not least, on the 18th of November, Iliad's Dev, who's a past hackathon winner, is going to be sharing their experiences and wisdom. So, as Leibing already mentioned, there's 4 different bounty tracks. There is the DeFi one, the NFT or GameFi one, a cross-chain tooling one, and a DAO tools one. And building on these different tracks, you're going to have the opportunity to win a bunch of different prizes, the top prize being 6K and minimum prizes constituting 1K on all of them. So some great opportunities for winning amazing prizes. There's also going to be an Evmos DAO bounty fund where there's going to be a 1K Evmos for best implementation of OpenZeppelin's Governor Bravo contract. There's going to be 750 Evmos in prize for implementation of Snapshot natively on Evmos mainnet, and a further 750 Evmos for one other really impressive DAO tooling project. So very exciting things to win. There's also going to be a community challenge in which you can participate daily in quizzes and data quests. And all of these are going to be posted on the Hackathon Discord channels. So I'm going to link the Discord in the chat after this presentation, where you can all join and have these daily quizzes available. This is going to run from the 15th of November to the 5th of December. So you can accumulate points through winning these daily quests and quizzes, and you can climb the leaderboard to win massive prizes. For the first, second, and third prizes, there's 1,900 and 800. And then from 4th to 20th and also 20 to 100 places, there's also going to be some smaller prizes. So good luck. Other than that, we have a couple of questions that normally tend to come up, such as who can take part in the hackathons. Anyone can, and you we can also find you help you find a team, and you can also build alone. But the Discord channel, which I'm going to drop the link to in a bit, is a very helpful resource where you can find a team and build together. There's also going to be technical support through the workshops, and as Anthony said, I'm going to be here. You can book calls with me, and Anthony's also here in the wider Encode team. So we're going to support you through this. All the organization, as I said, happens on Discord, so do make sure to join that. In terms of whether you can enter an existing project, you can, as long as you can show that you have introduced significant improvements to it during this hackathon, and you will also be then able to qualify for the prizes that we offer during the hackathon. You're also encouraged to do more than one challenge. The more the merrier. Feel free to build as much and as well as you can. And the next steps then are going to be to join Discord, find teammates on Discord, partake in the workshops, join our community, and start building. So without further ado, if you have any more questions, please drop them in the chat now, or feel free to turn your speaker on and ask us here. I am going to send some links in the chat to the Discord and to the Notion page like I mentioned. And yeah, so if anyone has any questions, please do share.
Awesome. Maybe I can suggest, if Evmos is still with us, they talk about the choice of Cosmos, but I think that's of particular our interest. Are you still with us, LPX?
I feel like Nic might be a better person to answer this, but cool thing about Cosmos and Evmos is that we are a layer 1 EVM chain on Cosmos. So we use a Tendermint consensus mechanism. But what's more exciting is all the interchain IBC networking that's going on right now. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more DeFi use cases in the future, especially when interchain accounts are available. Yeah, so I mean, I could just go on and on about, I guess, the potential benefits and new ideas that people can come up with by utilizing both chains. But yeah, Nic, are you still here?
Yep, I'm around. Yeah, so I can.
Why Cosmos?
Certainly, I can chime in here. So the Cosmos app chain thesis really lends itself to dApps deploying their own chains and sort of owning their own stack, which means getting to set their own parameters for consensus, peering, security, etc. Right, and DYDX has been a great sort of case study of a dApp chain that initially started off as a dApp deployed to Ethereum that then migrated homes several times and eventually landing on an architecture within the Cosmos ecosystem. Now they did this for various choices, but I think the key thing to keep in mind for developers is optionality, is being able to own your own stack. Now, being able to deploy, now what is the issue with this? The issue, however, a big blocker for a lot of developers is that you have to build your own chain, which is much harder than, you know, starting off with just your application layer logic, right? Just your dApp logic. You have a lot more considerations to make. And that's where Evmos comes in. Evmos gives you this starting point, this launch pad, so to speak, where you can develop within the Cosmos ecosystem, but still only have to worry about the application layer logic for the dApp you're building. And then that gives you the option to later, you know, migrate into your own app chain architecture if you really want to. And along with that, you get to build a user base. You get to grow your TVL within the Cosmos ecosystem. So the cost of migration is really minimal when you decide to launch your own app chain. Besides that, if you have no plans to launch your app chain, there are still benefits to deploying on Evmos. As LPX mentioned, there are features like interchain accounts, which let you call smart contracts and functions on other chains from Evmos permissionlessly. So for example, if you're a DAO, you're able to vote on the governance of any other Cosmos chain permissionlessly without having to do any sort of like multi-sig operations, like lock things on one chain and unlock them on a different chain or anything like that. You can make function calls permissionlessly to other smart contract chains like Juno that live in the Cosmos ecosystem. The fact that Evmos and other Cosmos chains support IBC means that there's no sort of third-party security. The attack surface for exploiting any asset bridge is minimal. IBC is the most secure bridging protocol available at the moment. And then lastly, Evmos itself, besides just being a Cosmos chain and having all the features that make that great, sports a few features itself that make it a good place for developers to deploy. For example, its revenue module means that developers will have access to cash flows based on their smart contract usage on the user side. So the more users use their smart contracts, the more developers are able to harvest fees from that smart contracts usage in the form of gas burn. So users burn gas on smart contracts you deploy, you earn a portion of that and the protocol rewards you for doing that. So that's just a few of the reasons developers might want to play around with and experimenting with Evmos. And as we've already mentioned, all the existing tooling and infrastructure built out for EVM chains works out of the box with Evmos too.
Nice.
Thank you.
Leibing, do you want to take some of the questions that have come for you? What drew you to work on Covalent? Are there prizes for the quizzes? Does every project need to use Evmos and Covalent? What is the difference between Numbia and Covalent? You got loads. Do you want to churn through them?
Let me
Good luck.
just pick up some of those. Yes, you need to use Covalent API in your build. It's pretty easy to like call one endpoint or two endpoints and get some data to put it into your build. And then ideally, you should also maybe like deploy a smart contract on Evmos mainnet or testnet. But yeah, do proceed to check out the submission requirements on the hacker guide. I think all the requirements are there, but basically, you can have a pure front-end build, or you can have a Solidity backend and come up with a full suite dApp. As long as the idea is good and it's a meaningful contribution to the ecosystem, you stand a good chance to win the prize. There will be prizes for the quizzes, obviously. And what drew me to work on Covalent, it's a very interesting space to be working on, blockchain data, especially the problem set that Covalent is trying to solve is trying to improve the developer experience. If you build like blockchain websites, right, using like JSON RPC, for instance, you'll quickly find that there's a lot of use cases that's a huge hassle to kind of implement, whereas Covalent solution tries to bridge that in your developer experience, making your life as a dev easier. So, and also it exposes me personally to a lot of different chains and a lot of different protocols. And yeah, the company's people are great as well. So yeah, good things to say about Covalent. Anything else? Other questions that we have here? What is the difference between Numbia and Covalent? So we both kind of provide data, whereas Covalent data, we index the EVM side to Evmos. And you realize that, the EVM side is just one side to Evmos. There's another side, which is the Cosmos data that we don't have the expertise right now to provide. But as LPX mentioned just now, it is actually a very interesting aspect of working in the Evmos/Cosmos ecosystem, being able to interact with the other app chains in Cosmos network. well, not network, but like, in the Cosmos ecosystem. So we got someone from Lumia to give a workshop that's going to happen in a couple of days to show you how you can pull data from the Cosmos side into your builds as well. And this will enable you to build very useful use cases such as like cross-chain tooling that is also one of the tracks of this hackathon. That's the main difference between Lumia and Covalent. I think that's all the questions that we have.
There's one that's, what are your top tips from the last hackathon?
Last 7 million.
No, the last hackathon.
Wallets.
What are your top tips?
Oh, from the last hackathon, right? In general, I suppose focus on useful and novel ideas. Like, I think the best projects are typically the best ideas, especially at a hackathon stage, right? Where you are not expected to maybe have, a really, really robust implementation. But if you have a very good idea and you worked it out to at least a minimum prototype, like that will really increase your chance of winning a bigger prize. So, and a good idea basically comes from a good problem, right? Like, are you finding a good problem set to work on, and is your solution the good solution to a good problem? There's on the flip side, sometimes like we see a lot of submissions that's kind of like it's kind of been done before and there's not much novelty there, and yeah, we find it hard to kind of award it highly, those projects. So yeah, be creative, find good problems to work with, and hopefully you get the best ideas for your project.
Awesome. Nikos asks, can you share or describe a good project from your previous hackathons?
So, okay, something that just came into mind was a developer integrated the Covalent API into Alexa, like the Echo Dot. So it was a very interesting integration where, in the demo, the developer kind of just said, Alexa, what's my wallet balance? And it's a very simple use case, right? It calls the wallet balance endpoint of our API and then brings it to the Alexa kind of like system. But it through this kind of like creative bridging, it really opens up a world of possibilities. Like, for instance, in the future, you can totally see how you can tell Alexa what's the price. Okay, set a trigger for the price of ETH to fall below 1,000, and then execute a trade on Uniswap, right? All these can be done via voice command, technically. And of course, like using the Covalent API, it's only a read API. You don't have write functionalities, but which is why if you like integrate that into a smart contract and deploy it onto Evmos, for instance, like that would be a really cool feature, right? So that's one example of a good project that we've seen. Another example, I suppose, is like if you like use the data to create kind of like on-chain proofs for social identity. So for instance, now blockchain addresses do not have context. If you see an address, you don't know like what it is, right? Whereas if you use the data, you can kind of prove that, oh, this address has held XXX token during June, and that's a verifiable proof. And then you attach a tag to that address. So it's almost like a smart tagging system. That was another good idea that kind of won. top prize with us in a previous hackathon. So yeah, bring whatever expertise you have, and and let's see.
Awesome, very good. Any other questions, guys? Of course, you can take your questions over to Discord if you so have them, and we'll happily answer them. And we look forward to seeing you in the first workshop, which is happening this week. And otherwise, if you have any questions, we'll be in touch with us, and we'll also look forward to chatting with you as well. Thank you to our speakers, to Leibing from Covalent, to LPX and Nic from Evmos, and Emma for presenting. I hope you all have a good rest of the day, and we will see you all very soon. This video will go up tomorrow morning as well.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.